All right, y'all. So look, man, I really dislike our culture, Black Negro culture. I think it's very distasteful for the most part. And I know some of y'all gonna call me old and all of this, but I hate to be that guy, but it just seems like we're getting worse and worse and worse and worse. So as y'all can see in this image, Sexy Red got a picture of her and Martin Luther King, and this is what Bernice King had to say about it. This is intentionally distasteful, dishonoring, deplorable, and disrespectful to my family, my father, who was not here to respond to himself because he was deleted for working for your civil and human rights to end this war and poverty. Now, as y'all can see, this is an AI image. Now, let me say this, man. Dr. King, he's buried down here in Atlanta. If you dug up the grave, he would be upside down. You really think that Dr. King would want to be in a picture with you, Sexy Red? You represent nothing that this man stood for. Nothing. Sexy Red is literally a industry plant. She is somebody who in 2 years, nobody will even remember who she is. She represents nothing that I would want my daughters to be, or hopefully your daughters or your nieces. This is just distasteful. And this is what goes on with a lot of us. See, she probably don't really know who he is other than his birthday was the other day. Don't know what he stood for. And to have the nerve to post the AI image of you and him as if he would come on to you. Now, to be fair, Dr. King, a lot of his stuff is he was being watched by the FBI and tapped by the FBI. This is all public information. But you really think that he would have a thing with you? You really think that he would ruin and destroy his reputation? This is the man that went to college at 15, and I believe he had his PhD by the time he was 25 or 26, something around there, young man still. And you really think that he would deal with you? The baby mama twerk, get high culture? You really think that they would? You really think anybody from that era would degrade themselves to that? Because if you go back in time, honestly, people like this would be considered, at the bottom. But we're the only people that project the Sexy Reds and the other girls like her, the other women like her, and put them at the top. She should be ashamed of herself, man. And whoever liked this photo should be ashamed of themselves. Because why would you want to do something like that? But this is the level. This is what goes to show you what's going on in our culture. And I know I'm finna go on a tangent, but it is what it is. We gotta be honest. Dr. King's era, men wanted to be carpenters, men wanted to be builders, men wanted to be pianists or anything, right? Something that can help the culture move forward. Teachers, doctors, lawyers, dentists. Women wanted to be wives first, mothers, teachers, nurses. Now what? Men want to walk around with their pants sagging. You see some of these celebrities, man, they in their 40s, pushing 50. You still sagging your pants, man. Really? You and my nephew 20 years old, y'all both sagging y'all pants. You think that's cool, old head, OG, unk, whatever you want to call them? You got women over here in they 30s now twerking and like it's sad, man. We got people walking around here getting all these different bodies done, trying to be young again. It's just, this is nothing that Dr. King or none of these people, Jesse Jackson, none of these people stood for. This is not what they did the March on Washington for. This is not what happened with the beatdown that they received, unfortunately, in Selma for. None of this. They didn't stand for it. They didn't want all these stuff to get passed for a Sexy Red. I'm sorry, they didn't. Historically, Sexy Red would have been somebody, she wouldn't be famous, let me say that. You know what I'm saying? She wouldn't be internet famous. You might be word of mouth famous, but not internet famous. But I just want to get my quick thoughts about it, man. It's just, I'm tired of our culture, man. I swear, man. I wish we could hit the reset button somehow and just start over with a clean slate on how we used to think. Because like I said, when you think of a Dr. King, when you think of a Marcus Garvey, when you think of a Malcolm X, when you think of a Fred Hampton, when you think of a Harriet Tubman, think that they did everything, sacrificed their lives and everything else you can think of, or at least with Harriet, as far as just getting captured, getting her, her feet chopped off. You never would have thought about that for them to look at this culture that we live in, But I just want to get my quick thoughts about it. Tell me what y'all think.